So, how do you think a grassroots player could maximise their chances of being, noticed?
If you're a footballer with dreams of getting scouted to join an academy or a first team at the highest level, this video is for you. Today I'm going to sit down with a former Man United and Man City scout, Lyndon Tomlinson, and he's going to tell you about his biggest tips on how he can get scouted and what he looks for in players. And by the way guys, this guy has been involved with the scouting of players like Jadon Sancho, Garnacho, Hannibal, and also Jude Bellingham while he was at Birmingham. So guys, get ready to take notes because this is an insider scoop on how to actually get scouted.
Like, what sort of things will you be looking at in terms of age?
I think you're always looking for the same sort of qualities. I guess the older they get, you're always kind of thinking, can they handle, especially when they go into under 12s, 13s, it's kind of, can they handle a bigger pitch?
Right.
And then when they get into 15, 16, it's can they be a scholar, competent scholar? Could they then go and become a professional footballer? So it's dealing with those demands, and obviously the technical and the physical sides are really important. And you look at the Premier League now, and you can see the demands of the game. It's changing all the time, and it's increasing. And then obviously, I think as they start to get older, you do look at the more tactical, psychological aspects. They're the things that kick in, I guess, that relate more to the senior game, because when they're kids, I mean, you don't really know what they're going to look like, what position they're going to play. So many factors, so many permutations that can happen with young players. So I guess you're trying to just look at who is the best player, who has the most potential. But I think it's something you just kind of, when you're doing the job and you get used to it, and you're working with good people, you can spot little traits and little things. And I guess once they get into that academy system, effectively you keep it on top of it more, just watching it tick over really, and seeing who kind of rises to the top.
Right, so you touched a little bit on some things that might come up. I mean, if a player has all the ability in the world and he's the best player on the pitch, what is one key thing that I guess would be a turn off for scouts?
It's a difficult one. I mean, I guess, the psychological side is the side where you can't really, it's not a tangible thing. You can see it. You can see it in body language and things on the pitch, things off the pitch that might concern you. And I guess ultimately those things might prevent a player from getting to the very top. You can have all the ability in the world, but if that side of it's wrong, and sometimes players have difficult backgrounds or difficult upbringings and things that can prevent them from getting to the top. Certain scouts or certain coaches and certain people in the game will be turned off by, say, it's an athletic player but technically needs a lot of work, or vice versa. You might have a fantastic technician, but the boy's small, or he can't get around the pitch, or he's not the most athletic. So I guess there's always going to be something in your mind, probably, where unless you have a perfect footballer, there are always going to be little things that niggle away at you, especially when you're looking long term. And like I said, this weekend, watching all the Premier League clubs, all at the under 16 nationals. Everyone, there's loads of scouts, loads of agents. Everyone's trying to, find, I guess, the one that's going to be the right fit for their club.
So, how do you think a grassroots player could maximise their chances of being, noticed in terms of level they're playing at, sort of things they're doing?
I think young players can always try and improve away from, whether it's the coaching that they're already getting, or they can, I see a lot of it now, even with players that in academies, they're away, they're doing extra sports science stuff, they're doing extra one-on-one stuff. If it's a striker, it's finishing, or if it's, technical work or physical work. Some kids are seeing, sports psychologists and things like that. So I guess the same for grassroots players. I think the thing is just to try and be realistic, in terms of everybody wants to be a professional footballer, and that's just the world we live in. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be on Instagram, but I think you have to be realistic. And if you're in a team and you're, it's too easy for you, then find a team that's, higher in the leagues, or where they do have affiliations with professional clubs.
Right.
At least then there's a pathway for you. But at the same time, if you're the 10th best player in your team and you're in the 10th division of, the under 16s league, you've got to be realistic and go, well, I'd be a professional footballer, but yeah, hard work is important, and having that winning mentality does kind of shine through. But I would just say, just take a logical, rational view of it. You can imagine I get messages on LinkedIn and social media every day, and it's like, I'm sure there is one in a million out there who's probably a wonder kid, who's that term, wonder kid, but I'm sure there is. But I have to obviously take a logical, rational view of things and go, if a boy's getting released, for example, on the pro side by a Cat 3 club, or and you've got to be realistic and just go, that's not the market we're kind of looking in.
Right.
As much as you'd love to give everyone an opportunity and give everyone a chance to kind of showcase, it's just difficult. So I would just say, just take a pragmatic approach to it, really, and just if you are genuinely talented and objectively the people around you think that you are, and your coach does, then try and find a strategic way to get yourself kind of noticed and work your way up to that level, because there are opportunities, and there are some academies where they will naturally have to, I don't use the word sell players, but they will kind of filter up the food chain, and Cat 2, Cat 3, even some Cat 1 clubs, they need to still populate their groups, and to do that, amateur football is really important to do that, and they will have a system of scouting and recruiting players into the system. So yeah, there are still players finding their way into academy football and then into professional football as a full-time career. So the opportunities are there, but people have to be realistic about their ability level, and then the rest of it around it is how much can you improve and how far can you go.
Guys, feel free to check out another video I did with Lyndon on his story about how he actually scouted Jude Bellingham as a youngster. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.